If you want to improve and enhance your online training content, how you show up to deliver value to your clients and your community, your audience in 2021, stay tuned because I'm going to share my top 2 tips to improve your content. Let's get it going. Welcome back, guys. Greg here with Alt Agency at altagency.com. And like I said, in this video, I want to share 2 tips that I think will improve your content this year. If you are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button because we have a new video every Thursday. And if you want to join us in a community, free community over on Facebook of a bunch of other agency owners, freelancers looking to automate and scale their business by getting paid for their thinking, go ahead and visit altagency.com/group. That link is in the description below, and we hope to see you in there. Now, why am I sharing this content around, or this topic about improving your training? One, love online training. I love the ability to interact with our clients and add value and give them systems and frameworks, etc. Now, when you're watching this and where you're at in the world, you might have experienced some sort of lockdown due to COVID. And we've seen a huge influx of people that are now buying training, that are consuming online, specifically Zoom. You've seen their evaluation go up, the number of paid users go up. Many of you that are watching this probably have been on so many Zooms in the last 6 to 12 months that you can't even count them anymore. If you want to improve the experience for your clients and your audience, we need to do a couple things, I think, differently. Hopefully, some of you started doing in 2020, but if not, you can get started with this year. So the first one that I really want to talk about is quite simple. Start delivering more live training. Now, we're going to look at both from paid and for free content. So I think from a live perspective on paid, maybe in your business, you used to deliver in-person workshops, or I know for our business, we have quarterly intensives where clients come into town for 2 days. And, due to the circumstances, we had to deliver those online. You've seen a lot of conferences that, typically were in person go virtual. So there are things that people have paid for that used to be delivered in person that are now being delivered online. And could be easy to pre-record a bunch of stuff and just distribute it. But I want to encourage you to find opportunities to weave live training, live experiences into your fulfillment content when it comes to workshops, virtual boot camps, virtual conferences, virtual intensives, and things like that. Obviously, many of us are kind of longing for some personal connection here since we're all working from home and probably haven't gotten to see as many people as we'd like to see compared to previous years. So start weaving in some live delivery, whether it's a half-day session, a 90-minute session, what have you. Start weaving it in and take interaction, create training that is interactive so that you can, obviously simulate as close as possible what you would do in person. So I think you should do that for your paid content. We've been doing that for our virtual stuff. And, our clients have been loving it because they can't leave, but they still get a great experience. They still get value. And they get to interact with us, even though it's through Zoom. There is a back and forth collaboration in a lot of what we do. Now, on your free content, whether you go live on YouTube or you go live in a free Facebook group or on your personal profile or you're doing webinars, you're going to start to see a lot more people weaving back in live elements. I know historically, from a scalability and leverage perspective, people have said, evergreen webinars, automated webinars, VSLs, all of those will work. But I think you need to think about where you can strategically integrate live content, live back and forth interaction. Again, it could be as simple as Q&As in your own private Facebook groups if you have them, on your profiles, etc. So think about how you can start delivering live. That's really tip number 1. Now, how you deliver and type of content that you're going to deliver is also really important. And I think this is the power tip that if you're going to apply either of the two, I would do this one. It applies whether you do it live and or whether you're creating pre-recorded content. It doesn't matter. Now, the second tip, which is more of like a pro power tip that I think if you were going to do only one of these two, this is the one because it'll impact both your free content and your paid content, is really to switch between modalities. And what I mean by that, there are a few different delivery modalities that I think will be important for how you show up. So there are 4 things that I think you should consider. 1, you can deliver content via talking head, like this. Like when you look at me, just like this, and we're having a conversation, that would be talking head. Or you could interact with, say, an iPad like I'm doing right now. There's the little pencil and drawing on screen. Now, we do this right now. I'm using a tool called Ecamm Live. I'll link up a document that has all of my tools and recommendations to do this stuff. But you could switch between talking head and drawing. You can draw on your screen like this, or you can create workbooks and or just hop into your iPad and draw on that. I'll show you that in a minute as well. Another option is to have slides, right? You could jump back and forth between a slide presentation, sort of like this, where we have a slide on the screen and I'm taking you through specific bullets. I know the slide that I'm showing you is a little bit meta, but that's what we're talking about here. That's a slide. And then the last one I would say is like your desktop. And just for sake of a better example, I'll just draw a little video and you could do something like this where, you know, you're walking people through a tutorial on your screen. This just happens to be my YouTube channel. You could be doing critiques and things like that of specific videos for someone and say, hey, like I'm going to change this content, or I'd change the headlines, what have you. So you can jump back and forth between these four modalities of talking head, drawing on the iPad, desktop critiques and things like that, and or even a slide presentation. Again, like I said in this training, the way in which you can do this is, you know, obviously capitalizing on some really affordable technology. I'll link that up in the below, but high level recap, talking head, slides or presentation like the one I'm doing right now, iPad or a whiteboard, a desktop or an app. Whether you're using Zoom or some other sort of fancy tool, in Zoom, you can connect your phone and you can share your screen. So maybe you're showing something that's a mobile app related and you can scroll through your phone and show them. You can also, depending upon your camera angles, instead of drawing on an iPad, you can hop over to a whiteboard. Maybe you're standing in front of an easel or a whiteboard like you've seen some other folks do. But the key point here is to switch between modalities as you're training, because one, the constant switching of the view will keep viewers engaged, but some people will learn and remember things better when you draw them. Some people, when you need to set context, might be beneficial to show slides, et cetera, et cetera. So it really helps kind of create a better learning experience. And there's a lot of studies around this. There's a book on like how to design a workshop, and they talk about switching between lecture type content, collaborative type stuff. And these modalities will position you to, one, probably stand out because no one else in your market's really going to be doing it. And two, to have better content. Now, again, a refresh on when we're doing this. Well, one, maybe you're doing a virtual workshop or a boot camp that could be paid and or free. You can update your online course and training content to leverage these different modalities. You can do like I'm doing right now and kind of tap into your free content, YouTube's, Facebook Lives, wherever you show up using video, or even weave it into your acquisition content like webinars, VSLs, things of that nature that, you know, you're driving paid traffic to acquire clients. Those are all things that you could be doing. Now, I just wanted to quickly show you one last example here. As we release new training, we create workbooks that we take clients through. This is just an example of that. I'm building a training right now called the Sales Specialist Playbook. And so we have, you know, pre-designed worksheets that are really just a PDF that I upload, and we take them through specific training that they can apply, and, you know, some notes pages and things like that. So you could design your own workbooks like I was saying earlier, or like I mentioned and I was doing previously, you could draw on screen right over your face. So it really depends how you want to tap into using the iPad. Again, I could have easily hopped over to an easel if I set that up. Key point is switch between your modalities in your training content moving forward, and you'll see a much higher engagement rate with your prospects, with your clients. And I think people are going to get it a whole lot more. I know that we see that in our training when we switch between these modalities, because we jump from, you know, lecture type content, context setting, to actually execution. And I forget who said it, but someone said, when you draw things on paper, you draw it into your prospect's mind. You draw it into your client's mind. So when I draw things like that, you'll probably remember that visual, this visual that I drew, if we were to talk here in a few weeks, just because you watched me draw it in real time. So I want to know, what is the switch? What are the modalities that you like out of these four that you're going to add if you're not already using it? And again, hope to see you in our free Facebook group, altagency.com/group. Take care.